Peace, Sun Degree, ENT, I never fail. So recently, right, I moved to another city. So I was trying to make significant changes in my life to get significant results, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna try to change my diet, maybe adjust or refine my exercise routine, my daily schedule, things of that nature. So because I'm in a new city, new experiences, I'm like, well, let me try something else, right? So I'm like, yo, let me try maybe comedy, right? So I go do stand-up comedy. I create a routine as I'm driving to the city or whatever. I create a routine and everything, and I'm going over it. And I spent like maybe 3 4 days just living it in my head, right? So I'm like, I go to sleep and think of the routine. I wake up and think of the routine. I'll be in the mirror thinking of the routine. I'm recording myself with the routine, like, okay, this is funny, this is not funny, how many jokes, how many times did I make myself laugh, like just going through it, right? So I'm like, this could be another opportunity because the surroundings are new. I can vibrate off of something different and, different vibrations because different trees, different plants, different everything that I'm used to, right? So I'm going through this mentally, preparing myself for like 3 days straight, right? So I get to the club. It says you get there at 7:30. Now you sign up, and then at 8 o'clock they start the show. It's going to be a mix of people who are already established, people working on bits, people who've been on TV, things like that. And when you go to the club, there's like pictures of like Dave Chappelle on the stage, all different types of comedians that you've heard of also personally, right? If you follow stand-up comedy in the last couple of years or whatever. So I get there. It says sign up at 7:30. I get there before then. Sign up, they put your name in a bucket, and they pull the names and stuff like that. So I'm waiting. They say it's between 8 and 10. So I'm waiting. They're calling names, and it's 8:30. Some people are so bad. You get a certain amount of time, they don't even finish their time. They're like, yo, I'm already. They're like, I'm only 30 seconds in, and I'm getting zero applause. They're literally saying this. They're like, this is crazy, right? And I still have this amount of time. Like, this is not going well. Certain people just gave up on their time like a third of the way through. They're like, yo, this is way different than what I thought. At my house, I'm out. Like literally, they're like on stage, like, this never worked. I feel like slitting my wrist right now, like for real. So it's real. You thinking you could do something and doing it. But in my mind, I'm like, just me getting on stage, if I do what I'm supposed to do, the audience will do what they're supposed to do. Right? From being on stage, from rhyming, being on stage like work and having to speak to 300, 400, 500 people at a time. I'm like, if I hit all these points, everything will go well. So I'm like, okay, there's this point, there's this point, there's that point. But I'm like, if a chick scream out, a dude heckle somebody, it's gonna throw off my whole rhythm. So when I get there now, trust me, I was a little bit nervous, and I have been on stage plenty of times, like having to speak public speaking plenty of times. And I was not nervous because the only time I was nervous is because it was like, this is something different. This is something I've never really done before. I think I could do, but I've never really done it. So people were talking to me like, yo, what's going on? And I'm like, nah, man, I gotta focus because anything can happen. I could trip off the stage, I could trip over the mic cord, anything can happen. So I'm not gonna tell you, yo, it's about to blow up, it's gonna be crazy, I can't wait. Da, da, da. But in my mind, I'm like, once I hit the stage, I'm about to detonate this shit. Like, I'm about to detonate. This is my moment. It's a new city. This is a new path, a new skill. So it's going to create new brain pathways in my brain, neurons of fire and stuff like that. So I had a lot of like hopes, but now it's like 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:30. I go to the host. I'm like, yo, are you still even like pulling names and stuff like that? He's like, yeah, we still doing it. So he's like, it gets to the end of the night, they're like, we're gonna only pull 2 more names. So they pull names, so they're pulling a name, and then they're telling you like, yo, you hit the stage. No, first they're like, yo, you on deck, and then they pull another name like, nah, you getting up right now. So I'd rather it be reversed because I'm on time to be like, okay, I'm prepared, I'm next or whatever. So I go to the host, I'm like, you still pulling names? I don't see the bucket or nothing. He's like, yeah, we still pulling it. Needless to say, it gets to be like, let's say 9:55, and he's like, yo, please, can I pull 2 more names? So I'm like, okay, it's gotta be me, It can't, you know what I mean? It can't be, this is my moment. I'm like, my mind, I didn't know I'm closing out the show. Like, it's my first time doing this, right? They called the last 2 names, and I was not called. I felt like, bam, gut punch. That everything he was thinking, now what? It's like Diddy and went without Notorious Big. Like, there's no big. Now what? What am I do now? There's no big. So I'm like, so I was more disappointed than anything. Because even before I was planning on getting on stage, when I signed up and everything, I was like, yo, I'd be more upset if I didn't go up than if I go up and I bombed or I freeze and I don't know what to say. I look at the hot stage lights and not know what to do. So I'm like, I'd rather go up there and bomb than to have fear keep me and my feet planted in cement outside of the stage. So this happens. I'm riding home. I'm basically like silent, contemplating my next move and everything. But it wasn't more that I was sad, I was more disappointed. Like in my mind, it's like this could have been a new beginning. I'm not saying I would have got on stage and all of a sudden I had my own comedy special, nothing like that, but I'm just like, this is something new, a new skill, a new hobby, something that I could try that I think I could be successful at. Like, this is my moment. This is my chance to maybe this is the path I should be on. When it didn't happen, then I had to really look at the components that make up me and figure out like what I needed to do, like how I was going to handle this, not even rejection because I didn't even get on stage, right? So it was more disappointment. So I look at it like it was actually a blessing in the sense that I was like, okay, I put out the videos, the knowledge. I'm trying to give y'all all the knowledge and the wisdom that I currently have obtained, right? But those videos might not do well. But a video talking about, I don't know, a rapper or whatever might be what blows up. But I might be like, yo, we need to do better for diet and exercise and all that, but people are not necessarily reacting or listening or commenting or, just reaction, engaging those type of topics, at least for me. For another person, maybe that's their bread and butter, that's how it goes down for me personally. So I was kind of like thinking like, damn, man, maybe I'm not supposed to help the community. Maybe I should just be selfish and focus on myself, getting myself wealth, getting myself better, getting myself in a better position or whatever. So my routine, stand-up comedy routine, would have been more Dolomite than, let's say, Malcolm X. And let's say they recorded it, they chopped up because they said you can't record, they kick you out. So let's say you record it, they chop it all up, and they put it on the internet. Then I'd have no say if it gets taken down or not. Like, I don't like the way I looked, I don't like the image, let's take it down because they would own the rights to that footage, right? Even though it's me, it's not me recording, it's not me, my camera, and I'm not allowed to record my own thing. So my whole thing is like, it was actually for my greater good. Because imagine if I got on stage and I was like, niggas ain't shit or bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And that would have been one little highlight that people might have saw for the rest of my life for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, right? So I took the gut punch and I was like, and I took maybe like a knee and I wanted to take a standing 8 count at the time, but I still feel a little bit bad about it happened. But it just goes to show and prove that negativity was never my path. My path is greater, and my path is positivity. Giving you this knowledge and wisdom is what I was meant to do, right? So in thinking that it was actually negative, it was actually a good thing. Because I wasn't even going to use like my attribute. I was like, yo, I'm going to just go under my government name and just start a whole nother path, right? But my vibration, my frequency, whatever I'm operating off of, that prevented me from getting on that stage that night. So I say that to say this. Yo, your path is your path, man. You gotta keep building, remain civilized. And the reason why it didn't work out and I took all the knocks is that it's building me and making me better. Maybe that knock was like a soft spot, like, oh shit, I got hit in my ribs. Yo, I gotta know how to start protecting my ribs. Maybe I gotta, even mentally start blocking that. So it's all for the greater good, man. It just means I'm walking through hell. I'm walking on hot coals. And what it molds me into is going to be so great because the pressure, the circumstances, the doubters, the negativity was so great that the success will be so great. People be like, yo, you ain't never go through a struggle. I can't ever see you having to walk through hell. but I did it. Peace.